Hello everyone, it's the Honest Long-Term Review Guy here again, and today we're going to be checking out the WAVLINK laptop docking station 12-in-1 triple display USB-C hub for Windows. That's what it's claiming to be, but hey, guess what? It also works with Mac. So yeah, in case you don't know, it's saying laptop docking station, but no, it can work with desktops, whatever. So it is not limited to a docking or to a laptop. And in case you don't know what a docking station is, docking stations, those are just expansion ports. So if on your laptop, your desktop, in my case, I've got a Mac Studio and an iMac. Those are compact Macintosh computers that have limited ports on them. And so these kind of act as expansion ports, okay? And they provide power to charge things and extra data ports, and different types of data ports as well. So you can then you plug this in, and I'll show you actually right now. So this is what we're going to be looking at. So this WAVLINK. And as I'll just, you've probably already seen this, but Ethernet on that side, SD micro, so just card readers. So if you got something from your video, just a video camera or DSLR camera, etc. So, and then, just different, I do not have, so sorry, I'm old, so I need to get my magnifying glass out here. So USB 2.0, and then 3.0, 3.0 and 3.0 there. And yeah, just on the other side, DP1, DP2, so DisplayPort 1, DisplayPort 2. So sometimes people, DisplayPort 1, DisplayPort 2. Some claim that that's much better resolution for monitors. And got an HDMI port, and then PD power. So in this case, for me, if you see over there on the front of my Mac, and that's just my studio Mac. I'll just tilt up a little bit. So on the front of my studio Mac, on the back, I've got a handful of cables, but it's kind of messy, but I'll let you see back there. But those ports back there are all taken up. So, and this little thing is fantastic because there's one extra port available on the front. Click. And now this, as I said, it's called a laptop docking station, or that's what it's advertised as, but just a docking station or just an expansion port, whatever you want to call it, an expansion unit. But it just, like I said, it has those different ports. And I've been using it for a little while now, and it has actually been working really well. One of the key features that it has been advertising, I don't need this because I'm not visually impaired too much or anything like that, but I've got, I'm okay. I can see decently enough, fairly well, but I do have a large screen. So I don't need, I used to run 3 monitors. Now I just run a 40-inch single monitor. So it's as simple as that. I'm good with this 40-inch single. But this does allow you to run up to 3 monitors apparently, or expand up to 3, I should say, or expand an additional 3. It's just, so far this thing has been fantastic. I've not used the Ethernet expansion port there, so that's one thing which I have not done. But otherwise, checking out the other ports, so far so good. And the SD card, that's another thing which I actually really do like, is on Apple products, and I'll just go back to the SD card and the micro SD card. On Apple products, there is an SD card reader right there, and same thing on my other it's a quick thing for any Mac users out there. You already know this. And for some some PC users, Asus, Dell, etc. Actually, Dell's really good. But anyways, just SD card readers can break down. It's as simple as that. Just regular in out usage, depending upon how often, especially if you're a professional photographer, if you use your DSLR camera a lot, or if you're taking a lot of video, and then uploading, if you're and if you're not using wireless, and if you're just inserting your SD card, I prefer to use external readers, so that the external reader, the external SD card reader, is what breaks down over time, not the internal reader, or not the reader that comes with the computer. I try to use that a little bit more sparingly, just so that the computer and its parts last longer. So having an external reader like this, fantastic for me. Okay. Anyways, I will also mention that the only thing that I've found so far is this does run a little warm. It is in a metal chassis. I have a TP-Link port as well, expansion port. That is attached to another computer that I have for a little music studio. So the TP-Link, that's in a plastic chassis. That does not warm up. So I'm assuming it's just metal versus plastic. So not a big deal, I don't think, but I just wanted to mention that the unit that I received anyways, there is a little bit of warmth to the top, not to the bottom, surprisingly. It's a little warmer on the top when it's charging something. So, and for example, I just like it because the all my USBs on the back, 2s and 3s, etc., those are all used up. But I can do this. I can quickly charge and plug it in and charge up. That's just one of our dog collars. That is not a shock collar. It's just, we use that for the sound feature. Sound feature, the lights on the front, and that we can just light up if we're wondering where one of our pooches is at night. We can also, the beep, 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 we can also trigger them. And actually when they hear the beep, beep on their neck, they just come running back to find us. They get a little treat for being a good doggy and coming back. We live out in the country, so... And and if they're really not responding, then there's a vibrate feature. Just then the collar vibrates on their neck. So anyways, enough about the collar, but it's just nice to be able to quickly plug that in, tuck this stuff away, move it out of the way, and get back to work. So that is pretty well it. This thing has been surprisingly just seems well built, metal chassis. I'm liking it so far. And like I said, WAVLINK, it came in this box, pretty simple. There is, and I'll just quickly say, this quick start guide right here, QR code, that gave a little bit of extra information, but really tiny print. I'll just pre-warn you. So it just unfolds into this very long kind of tiny print manual that I had a heck of a time seeing. But again, my vision is not the greatest. I do not have 20/20 vision. This was a pretty good product. Currently on Amazon.ca, $77.34. So I'm happy. Yeah, I'm really happy with this. So I'll leave it at that. Good product. I'm going to give this a solid 5 out of 5 stars. I don't often give products 5 out of 5. But this is, and actually one thing which I will say though, but this is just a personal preference. And so many products, so many of these expansion ports do not do this, and it frustrates the heck out of me. They don't add on what they're taking away. And it's something that I always say, like, if you're going to take, replace. So whatever you take, replace. So in other words, so here we are taking away this port, okay, this jack, but we're not replacing it, okay? So all we've got, here on the WAVLINK, Okay, so we've got all these various ports and such like that, but they did not replace, or they did not include a USB-C port over here. Okay, so we've taken away, and I believe it's a USB-C port here. So we've taken away a we've taken away a USB-C port there. So we've used up the final USB-C port right there. But they did not add a USB-C port in here to kind of like make up for that one that was used up. And that has bugged me with a lot of these, with a lot of these docking stations or expansion ports. So it just, Anyways, that's just a personal grievance or gripe that I have. Where, you've taken away, it would be really great if there was a USB-C port here, or even a couple, but just whatever you take, replace. Stick an extra USB-C port, or just not an extra, stick a USB-C port here, so then, you've got back what you took away over there. Anyways, that is it, but like I said, I can't get upset with WAVLINK because most other manufacturers do the same thing. Okay, so I'll leave it at that. Everyone stay safe. Hopefully this has been helpful, and take good care. Bye-bye.
Mira, os enseño tal cual me ha llegado para que veáis cómo viene presentado y la caja y todo, y lo que incluye dentro de este multipuerto. Yo lo he cogido en color negro, queda mejor con todo lo que yo tengo. Entonces, con esta carcasa y con el cable aquí dentro recogido, y viene aquí dentro, viene una tarjeta con la dirección que hay que escribir por si hay que descargarse opcionalmente los drivers, por si no nos reconoce de inmediato el aparato o no funciona del todo bien. Y aquí unas instrucciones bastante descriptivas en inglés para poder sacarle todo el partido al multiconector. Lo que os enseño más que nada viene también con una especie de código para poder descargarse rápidamente los drivers. Si podéis ver, viene con un display 1, display 2, HDMI y una carga rápida de hasta 85 vatios. Tiene conexión para internet, por si queremos dotar de conexión a internet una tablet o un móvil. Se puede, o un laptop, lo podemos configurar con este conector. Tenemos lector de tarjetas micro SD, SD normal. Tenemos dos USB 3.0 y dos USB 2.0. Y luego tenemos aquí, en este extremo, la conexión de auriculares. Viene con USB-C, que está preparado para los USB-C de los dispositivos modernos, también para móviles y también para tablets. Y para un PC que como es mi caso, que yo no tengo en este PC, no tengo, ¿cómo se dice? Micro USB-C. Entonces lo que he hecho ha sido comprar unos adaptadores y ya me permite conectarlo al USB 2.0 o 3.0 según lo que me... ¿Qué problema hay? Que si solo tenemos USB-C, USB de 3.0, se puede usar igual. Ahí está. Y ya lo detecta en pantalla. Si podéis ver, aquí pone USB Card Reader. ¿Qué pasa? Que si lo pones en un USB tradicional, no te va a funcionar todos los USB, los lectores de tarjeta, y me falta por probar el conector porque aquí yo estoy no tengo cable, no tengo fibra. Lo que pasa es que no nos va a funcionar ninguno de los conectores de visionado para multiplicar pantallas. Y este te va a funcionar, pero con una potencia limitada, el Thunderbolt. Para que funcione todo, pues tenemos que conectarlo con el USB-C a un dispositivo que tenga Thunderbolt USB-C, que es el que es entrada y salida, salida de imagen, entrada y salida de datos. O sea, es un multipuerto de alta velocidad. Y este aquí, por ejemplo, va a estar limitado, y así os lo quería compartir. Y de hecho, cuando pongo la tarjeta de memoria, enseguida la reconoce, ¿eh? Sale la ventanita y ya me permite, y va muy rápido, se abren muy rápido las imágenes y los vídeos, y ningún problema de velocidad, aunque no tengamos USB-C. Comentar también que he podido probar le he puesto el dongle de USB del teclado y el ratón, y ha funcionado a la primera, sin tener que hacer nada, y ha funcionado exactamente igual que directamente al ordenador. ¿Vale? Yo quería compartirlo con vosotros para que vierais el funcionamiento inicial y las posibilidades que puede tener según el equipo que tengamos cada uno. ¿Vale? Un saludo.
Yeah, just showing you everything you need to know about this WAVLINK or WAVLINK hub. It's a really nicely constructed hub. It's a solid aluminium, I think, construction. It's a plastic end plate there, I think, but it is, or maybe not, I'm not sure. It's difficult to tell because it's the same colour as the hub itself, which looks great. It's going to get fingerprints on it. Of course, the look of the hub is really not why you're buying it. You're buying it because of the ports themselves. So let's go through them. We're going to benchmark some of these, and I'll put the results of the benchmarks in the written review so that you can see. But basically, 2 USB 2.0 ports for your slower devices, your printers, your keyboard, mouse, that kind of thing. 2 USB 3.0s, they're only 5 gigabits a second, but that's still a lot faster than USB 2s. That's for your data transfer devices. SD and micro SD. At the end, you've got a network port just there. There's your triple display, which is probably the main reason you're getting this. 2 DisplayPort ports and 1 HDMI port. Power delivery just there. And there is a 3.5mm jack just there for audio. There's the cable itself, which is, let's measure it on here. As you can see, about 22 centimeters long, 25 centimeters if you include all the way up to the end of the plug. So first impressions are excellent. Looks fabulous. Looks really, really good. But of course, the most important thing is, how does it perform? So I'll test the display ports, I'll test the power port, network, and of course the data transfer speeds of these ports as well. And I'll let you know how I get on in the written review.